Carpenter would follow up from Prince of Darkness with the far superior They Live. It does seem that he is at his best when he tries new things and at the same time retaining core trademarks instead of retreading old ground. This is a brilliant film, sticking two fingers up at corporate America, capitalism, and the elite ruling class using social commentary in a cool but blaze way in which only Carpenter can. Ronnie Pike plays a drifter who is not the sharpest tool in the shed, who stumbles upon a conspiracy in which aliens have taken over the world and are living a life of luxury, all the while humans do the dog work. His attempts at convincing fellow construction worker Keith David result in one of the best street fights put on film, a hilarious 10-minute drawn-out, exhausting compilation of grunts and thumps. After this, the two seek to expose this issue to the world, using guns, fists and catchphrases. As funny and charming as the film is, it's interesting in that it deals with real-world issues, more so even today than when the film was made. Whether you want to head into the territory of thinking the film's a showcase of the secret elite Zionist ruling class, a criticism of the Reagan era and unrestrained capitalism, or you genuinely believe aliens have taken over the world, the movie is a dream for conspiracy theorists and isn't far off really, especially since things like the Panama Papers prove that there really is a ruling class that leeches off the common folk and operates above the laws and regulations of normal society. It's one of the charms of the film that it is a goofy fun ride but also a chilling look into things like materialism, corporate greed, conformity and the consumer mentality. The fight scene, for instance, funny as it is, in which Pipe only wants David to put on the glasses, goes on and on and on, and highlights that trying to get the sheep to see the truth of what their life is a painstaking and often fruitless task, because they often don't want to know and would prefer to live life in their pseudo-lives of comfort. A lot of highbrow pictures like Network and 1984 also touch on similar themes. They Live uses funny aliens as a proxy for our own concerns that we are being exploited by a group of people who through the media, food and simply through the ways of life have brainwashed us into not only accepting but actively taking part in self-slaving. And remember, one of Dave's excuses is that he's got a family to feed, a job to just about hold on to, which again is a common reason for people not to get involved and to just stay quiet. I mean, I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but the scariest thing about the Panama Papers was the reaction from the public, in that there was no reaction. The exploration of themes delved into They Live were quite rare for the time, and it also sticks out in Carpenter's filmography as an unusually socio-political film, despite being quintessential Carpenter. Maybe he offended someone with They Live. After all, it opened up at number 1 at box office in its first week but then disappeared. At the very least, it was the end of Carpenter as we knew it, because the next chapter of his career, the latter half, is quite famous for bomb after bomb. Movies that stunk, movies that lost money, and as each disappointment came and went, Carpenter would eventually leave filmmaking only to make a half-assed return about 10 years later. He stopped scoring a lot of films, and the ones he did dropped his famous synth style for more conventional rock beats. He grew famously tired, frustrated with the studios and upset with the reception of his films, burnt out and found his time was better suited and more fun when playing video games and smoking at home with his son. It's not all doom and gloom for me though, because funnily enough, I find enough in most of these movies to enjoy.